guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This feels a little awkward because I haven't been on YouTube for the past 2 months, but you know what? I'm hoping to change that in 2025. I'm trying to be consistent. Before we get started, I think as someone who likes creating content and who wants to take content creating as a full-time thing, I realized that you invest in different apps at different times. Sometimes you get the inspiration to just be on Instagram. Sometimes you get the inspiration to just be on TikTok. And sometimes it's a little bit of everything. Sometimes it's YouTube. And what I realized is just go with that. Literally just go with that, because I honestly want to be authentic to myself, and when I create things, I want to be authentic to that. And I'm not going to force something that doesn't feel like it's a part of what feels like me at that moment or that time or that season. So that's why I've been off YouTube. I wanted to do a video on 24 things I learned in 2024. And I think this is so important, being reflective of your previous year. I think that is so underrated, does not happen enough, and I wanted to kind of reflect off of my year in 2024. Off of my year? I wanted to reflect on my year of 2024, and this is just the bare minimum, okay? I have a lot of things that I have reflected on and continue to reflect on in 2024. I'm living in 2024, but this is just some of the things, some of the major themes that I kind of wanted to share with you. 24 things that I've learned in 2024. And so before I go on for much longer, because as you may know, I can talk your ear off. I can talk forever. I can talk for miles, for years. I'm kidding. But I can talk for a really long time. Instead of doing that, I'm just gonna jump right in so that this video doesn't get too long, okay? The first thing that I learned in 2024 was most people are kind and you find what you're looking for. A lot of people I've noticed talk about how this world is messed up and everybody's mean and cruel and this and that. And I'm just I'm kind of observing recently, people are actually nice. People are kind. And in 2024, I was observing that a lot, because I would go on a walk and people who don't even know you, and sometimes not even neighbors, would be hi, would wave to you, would say hello. Honestly, I truly believe that you find what you're seeking and searching for. If your mindset is that everyone is mean, everyone is cruel, everyone is just the worst, that is what you're gonna find. Your brain is going to search out the people that have all those characteristics that you say people have. Second thing that I learned in 2024 was that my relationship with Jesus is the single most important thing to me ever. It's better than gold, it's better than riches, it's better than status, it's better than anything. It's better than every single person in my family. It's better than anything that I can think of. Jesus and my relationship with him, the most important thing. It is what's gonna get me through life. It's what's gonna get me through when I have extreme depression, when I'm extremely happy, he's still with me, he's my partner, he's my friend. My relationship with him, without that, is my lifeline. Without that, I am nothing. And I don't want it. I don't want that life without him. Third thing that I learned in 2024 is to not do anything that will cause you to later lie. If you're doing something in secret, and then ultimately it becomes a thing where it will come into the light, and that is gonna cause you to lie, don't do it in the first place. It's a difficult pill to swallow, and it's also something as human beings we're gonna go through, because we're flawed and we're going to lie. And I still lie, and I pray about it and I repent, and I hope that I continue to be a better person, that I don't lie. But we are human beings and we're flawed and we lie, and I'm just saying that if you know when you're doing it that this specific action is gonna later cause you to stumble and fall and lie and not be the kind of person that you should be, more Christ-like, then don't do that. Number 4 thing that I learned this past year, and this one was the biggest one, is the biggest theme in my life this past year, was that your health is your biggest gift. Trust me when I tell you this, okay? As a young person, you really don't think about the fact that you are healthy, you are strong, you are able to do the things that you're able to do. You don't really have big worries. But when you get sick, so many things go out the door and all you really care about is getting healthy. Like, if you really get sick, and I got sick this past year, and that was my whole world for months on end. I literally could care less about any other thing except for getting better. And I heard this saying that was like, a healthy person has 99 problems, but a sick person only has one. And that is so true. So true. Literally, when you're sick, all you care about is getting better. And when you're healthy, you just have all the cares in the world and you're just worried about every single thing. So it's just your sign to really be grateful for the fact that you are healthy, and don't take that for granted, okay? Number 5, this basically just goes with number 4. Healing takes time. And yeah, like it took me some time. It took me a long time and it felt terrible. And I learned a lot, and it was just a whole process. And after a little bit, I gave into the process, and it was a journey. And it was, like looking back now, I'm like, okay, cool. I went through that. I'm a better person for it. So it takes time, and be okay with that. Be okay with that, because if it's a quick fix, I promise you later on, that quick fix is gonna come back and bite you in the butt. So take the process, take the journey slow, let it do its thing, let it flow. Number 6, you have the right as a human being, as an individual, to change your thoughts, to change your beliefs, to change pretty much anything that changes. Because as a person who is, especially in their early 20s or just a young person, you're going to develop and change a lot. But as human beings in general, we're always changing and evolving, and that's the way it should be, and that is good, and it's okay. Hopefully it's for the better, but it is going to happen. You're going to evolve. And so I think that's okay. If other people who are in your life are like, oh, you've changed, you should be like, thank you. Thank you, I'll take that, because you don't want to stay the exact same person that you are now. You don't. It's not, you should be changing as a person, evolving, getting better, getting smarter, getting healthier, getting stronger, getting wiser. You have the right, and don't let anybody else tell you that you don't have the right to think for yourself, evolve, change your thoughts or your beliefs. For example, if one time or another you say something in public, like let's say in front of a group of friends, you're like, oh yeah, I think this way about this. And then a week later you come back and you're like, actually I no longer think that way. If they give you crap about the fact that, oh, last week you said the complete opposite, you're changing your mind now, stand your ground. Stand your ground and be like, yeah, I have the right as a person to evolve and change. A week ago, I didn't have the full story. I didn't have all the information. I didn't have all of this side. Now, I got all the perspective and all the different sides. And as a human being and as an individual who is smart and intelligent, I've decided that I actually no longer believe that. And therefore, I've changed my mind. And then just walk away. Number 7, reading and podcasts are free education. Use those tools. I'm going to not go that deep into that, but all I have to say is use the tools that you have around you. It's free education. You're not paying any money for it really. And you should be utilizing the things that are around you, because why are you not? Why are you not doing that? Better yourself. Take care of yourself. Number 8, stop wasting your time on mindless and pointless things. If you're the kind of person who literally spends all day watching TV, who is just mindlessly hours on hours scrolling through social media, stop. Live your life. Do something. Stop wasting time, okay? And I'm not saying don't relax, don't chill, because I do that. You need to do that. You should do that. But I'm saying that if you're spending, because I'm saying this from experience, I've spent all day, like days actually before, if I started a TV show and I was really into that TV show, I would literally cancel like plans and stuff and binge watch TV like all day, and sometimes all night. And I'm saying that from experience. Don't do things like that. It's pointless. You're wasting your life away, and you're not really bettering yourself at all. And that kind of stuff, like watching TV and watching all this social media, all this stuff on social media, How is it adding to you? How is it giving you value? You know? Unless you're an actor and you're doing some research on a TV show, and once in a while you stay up all night or you stay up all day and you're doing research. Different story. That is bettering you. That is progressing your life. So, different story. But don't waste your time. Time is money, okay? Time is currency. Remember that in 2025. Number 9, use everything as an opportunity. As an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to listen, anything. For example, if someone says something mean to you, say something nice back. If you make a mistake, learn from that mistake, let it help you grow. Because honestly, the majority of times, you learn something more if you're actually making a mistake as opposed to getting something right. So in 2025, everything is an opportunity. Use it for good. It's a benefit. Number 10, not everything is as it seems. Honestly, the majority of stuff that you see and hear and are told is not as it seems. Therefore, be diligent, be excellent, do your own freaking research. Don't just take what everyone is saying and telling you and showing you at its word and at its value, because the majority of the time, it's probably not accurate. Trust me on that. Do your own research, be your own person. Don't let people just feed you information and then just run with that. Let them feed you information and then let that be the catalyst for you asking questions about this and going deeper and doing your own research and being more diligent so that you're knowledgeable about that as well. I hope catalyst was the right word when I used that, hopefully. Moving on to the next one, it's important to have time to rest. Literally put it in your schedule, because if you don't take time to rest, your body will force you to rest, okay? Our bodies are so diligent, so smart, and always looking out for you. Like literally your body is always looking out for you. So if you go a long period of time without taking any rest, and everything I'm saying to you from this is me going through it, I've gone through it, it will force you to rest with like a sickness. It will force you to rest by like, maybe you get an injury because you're working too hard, or maybe you get sick and like because you've gone too long without taking a break. And when I say rest, I mean truly rest. Things like doing hobbies, things like taking time off of social media, things like not watching TV but going outside for a walk. Like rest your body, because the things that give your body like more fuel, more energy, more rest is actually of nature. So going into 25, I'm gonna be someone who really prioritizes rest, because I've been sick in 2024 and part of it was because I didn't rest. And so now I know my body needs rest. Hey, do I feel not my best this week? Is there a day coming up where I can literally just do nothing and go for a walk and chill and read and rest and do hobbies? Then I'm gonna do that. You know, like it's so important to be in tune with yourself and rest when it needs it, and then push yourself when your body is like, hey, I got a lot of energy, let's utilize that, you know? Number 12, what you don't use, you will lose. We'll learn so much about this year. I sing and I play the piano, and this past year I didn't really do much of that, and I started to see towards the end of 2024 just how much my voice was like going away. Like I was struggling so much to have like the muscle, my vocal cords to sing, and I literally was not singing very much. And a part of it is like there's a whole thing, but like I wasn't really listening to secular music, and then like I didn't really go out to listen to worship music either, and so that just caused me altogether to just stop really listening to music, and I just really invested my time in podcasts, and that I'm not using my voice, no, I'm not singing. So my vocal cords were getting very weak, and I was starting to notice that they were going away. Like it literally will go away, and that's the same thing with muscles you don't use in your body either. Like for example, your nose, if you breathe through your mouth, there's a thing in your nose that will over time go away, and you will not really be able to breathe through your nose very well because you're relying so much on breathing through your mouth. So every single thing you don't use, any ability God has given you and gifted you with that you don't use, over time you will lose it. So this is your reminder and your wake-up call to start utilizing the things and the gifts that you've been given, and then use those. And also, like, you work out, the muscles you don't use, you notice how weak you feel and how hard it is to build that muscle back up. Sometimes it's not even possible. So just your wake-up call. 13 was kind of a difficult one for me to learn this past year, but God will bring people into your life, and he will also take people out of your life. And you just have to be okay with that, because you have to trust him more than you trust the people he's brought into your life, the opportunities he's given you, the things he's given you. More than all of that stuff, instead of getting attached and caught up so much in the people, in the opportunities, in the things that you have, more than that, you should be trusting God with everything. And so if he says, hey, I'm going to bring this person into your life at this time, in the season of your life, and then you go on to the next season of your life because you're walking with God and you're walking on the right path, and in that season he's like, this person no longer serves you in this season, so I'm going to take them out. You have to be trusting of him in that season as well, just as much as you were in this season, because he is above the people in our lives. And as much as our relationship with people is so beautiful, and as much as the opportunities we get are so cool, and all the things that we have are amazing, as much as all those things, he is better than every single one of those things, okay? And so just trust him, just trust the process, and give it all to him. And that's not to say that it's not sad. It's not to say that you don't get to mourn those. You get to mourn the people you lose in different seasons that you go through. You get to mourn the losses of the opportunities that you had planned for yourself, but God didn't want in your life. And you get to mourn the things that you lose, even if it's like a house or something. It's okay to mourn all those things, but you overall have to trust God and give it over to him, because his plans for your life are millions of times better than the plans that you have for yourself, okay? Number 14, process your feelings and emotions. Ideally, in that moment that you're feeling it, because your body holds on to it if you don't process it and if you don't go through the feeling of it. For example, if you're so angry at someone, you're so angry, but you don't have the time to sit there and feel like the feeling of being angry at that person and understanding why you're angry at them, or just processing that at all, then if you just go about your day and you're like, oh, I'm so angry at that person, and then you have to go pick up your kid, or I'm so angry at that person, and then you have to go to work and you're not processing it, your body, buddy, holds on to that. That sounds so weird. Your body will hold on to that, okay? It doesn't just let it go. It doesn't just say, oh, I'm no longer angry, and that emotion, that feeling just goes away. No, it holds on to it. Your feelings and your emotions are a frequency. Hopefully I'm saying this right, but I heard a podcast one time where it was like, your feelings and your emotions are a vibration, and when they don't get like processed or dealt with, that frequency and vibration, and that's kind of like an energy, it's stored somewhere in your body. Most of the time it's stored in its weakest spot, and unless you process it and you go through it, it will stay in that, and then it will feed off of that. So every time you get angry and you don't process it, your emotions, or deal with it, then it will just keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes like an illness. This is just to say that it's really important to actually deal with the feelings that you have and the emotions that you're feeling in that moment, or even write them down and later on come back to it and be like, okay, let's go through this and process it, because it's so important, it's so crucial. 15, work out regularly and not to look good, okay? If your main reason for working out is to look good, that's only gonna get you so far. It might last for a month, maybe a few years, maybe 10 years, but after a while, if you're like, oh, I got the body that I want, then you're gonna stop. I honestly think that working out for your mental health, for your well-being, and for your just overall activity of life, getting stronger, getting healthier, those are more important. So work out regularly to take care of your internal, not your external, because that will have so many more benefits than just looking a certain way. And yes, working out can make you look good on the outside, and that's a plus, that's a bonus. Working out for your brain health, working out for all the organs in your body because they do so much for you already, and working out for your overall well-being, for your mental health, those are so much more important, and being consistent is so important as well. Number 16, that your style will change, and that's okay. I wasn't thinking that my style wouldn't change, but because I got sick, I gained a lot of weight, there were so many different factors. I didn't feel like my style really fit me anymore, like my previous style, and then I wasn't really investing in like my style. I wasn't really investing in it, and I was like in limbo mode, kind of just wearing what was comfortable. And that was kind of when I learned that like, okay, maybe I'm phasing out of like my previous style. It doesn't suit me anymore, and that's okay. Like, as like a person should be growing and developing, so will your style. Like, I genuinely think that having your sense of style is a creative way to like express yourself, and I think that's so cool and that's so fun. So for me, and learning that like in 2024 that my style is going to change, and that's okay. I'm just trusting the process, trusting the flow, and even though like gaining weight was kind of the reason that like it started to be triggered, that my style was like changing, I was more aware of it. It's kind of like brought me to the other side now that like actually my style was going to change anyway, because you know, like I've kind of outgrown the previous style a little bit because I'm older now and I'm a different person. I'm developing into a different person, a different woman, you know? So it's bound to change, and that's okay. Don't hold on so tightly to your sense of style that you had in the previous season. It's okay, it's going to change, and it's going to probably be better, honestly. Number 17, take your vitamins, okay? I say this loosely. If you eat a really like good diet and you feel like you're getting all your vitamins in, and you're taking your blood work and your vitamins are all in your body and they're at their best, great. But the majority of us, I would say 99% of us, are not getting all the vitamins and nutrients that we need from food, because the soils don't have the same content of vitamins and nutrients that they used to before. And so most of the food that we consume, even if it is healthy, and the majority of people are not eating healthy food in general, like whole foods, even if you're eating completely whole foods, unless you're consuming a lot of it, you're probably not getting everything that you need, especially things like magnesium or like, I mean, maybe vitamin D, I don't know. If you're going outside a lot, then yeah, but like the majority of people are not going outside that much. So stay on top of your vitamins, because they will cause deficiencies, and those deficiencies will cause you to not be at your best or your optimal. And I noticed taking supplements and like, you know, aware of what supplements my body needed specifically, and then I supplemented with that. The amount of difference that you feel is crazy. You feel like you only know what you know. So at that moment, if you're deficient in something, you think you're okay, you think you're fine. But then you start to supplement with that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so good, because your body does require a lot of nutrients, a lot of vitamins and minerals to be at its best, and you should be able to provide that for it. So just check in and figure out what vitamins you're deficient in, because the majority of people are deficient in something, one thing or another, and supplement with that and take care of yourself so that you can be at your best in 2025. 18, read your Bible and pray as much as you can. I don't really have to go that deep into this, but honestly, my prayer life in 2024 has definitely gradually gotten so much better, and I'm so grateful for it, because it has made my life just a lot better. Not to say my life has been perfect, not to say that things have not gone wrong, but when I pray during those times, I feel different. I feel different, and I am okay. And I am okay because I pray and I read my Bible, and I think that that definitely gives you a different perspective on whatever hardships you're going through. So pray and read your Bible as much as you can. Lean on that in 2025 more than anything else. Number 19, disagreeing is okay. I honestly don't understand why disagreeing with people is so like controversial or so thought as like the worst thing in the world. Like, if you disagree with someone nowadays, they literally will like not talk to you anymore, or they take it so personally, or it just escalates to a place it does not need to escalate. If you have different thoughts on something, that's okay. You can still be friends, and you can still be in each other's lives. Like, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. We're not supposed to have the same freaking mind. We're not supposed to all think the exact same way. Just like we're not supposed to all be the same size. We're not supposed to all be looking the exact same. It's okay to be an individual, to have your own thoughts and your own perspective, and that's going to cause you to disagree with someone, okay? Because not everyone's going to think the exact same way. We're meant to think differently. God created every single person individually. No two people think, look, feel the exact same way. So be okay with disagreeing with someone. That's fine. Don't let that be the end of the world, or the end of a friendship, or the end of someone being in your life. Like, just chill out, okay? Like, yeah. I just think it's gotten to a point where it's like, it's such a big deal now, and it's really not. It's okay to disagree. We can all agree to disagree, and that's okay. Live, laugh, love, okay? Number 20, ask people how they are, and genuinely ask them, and listen to them, and care about people. important. It's good. Like, I feel like we don't really care about people as much anymore. Even if you're not super close with the person, like if there are people around you, like ask them how they are, because that could be the best part of their day. You don't know. So ask them how they are, listen to them, and then tell them have a great day. Because again, that could literally be like the best part of their day, and you don't even realize how much of a difference it could be making in their day, you know? 21, learn to enjoy food with every single bite. I would sometimes just eat a dinner or eat lunch or eat breakfast and just like kind of rush through it. Something that I learned to get better at is sitting down, enjoying food, every single bite, putting down my fork, and like actually chewing and enjoying food. Because personally, I lost that art, and I think it is an art. And nowadays, I think just in general, we have lost the art of like sitting down to eat a meal and actually enjoying the food, instead of just like shoveling food or like just eating so fast nowadays, because we're always in a rush to do something, be somewhere, and just like it's just so fast. And I just think like eating a meal is actually so cool, because one, you get food in front of you and you get to eat that and nourish your body, and then two, your body's gonna have an easier time and a better time digesting it if you're just enjoying it more and taking a moment and giving it some time, as opposed to just rushing through it. Number 22, you're always gonna have a to-do list. You will always have a to-do list, but the important thing is prioritizing what is most important for you to do that day, and then focusing all your energy on those things and letting the rest of the list have a flow. Maybe put it on the next day's list, because you are a human being. And the reason why I learned this in 2024 was because I would have a whole list, okay? I would get a sheet of paper and then write down everything that I needed to do on my days off, okay? And I, by the end of the day, would be sweating, literally so exhausted, and then just feel like a failure, because most of the time I wouldn't get to the end of the list. What you need to remember is you're a person. You're a human being. There's only so much you can do. So instead of just giving it your like half on every single thing on your to-do list, you know what? Give your full and your all to just the most important things for that day. And it's okay if you have things to do another day. That's okay. You don't have to get every single thing done that day. You're a person. Love you so much. Number 23, we're almost there, you guys. Be gentle with yourself and treat yourself as you would a loved one. We sometimes treat ourselves like shit. We sometimes treat ourselves like garbage. Sometimes we're so disconnected from ourselves that we don't even know how we feel. We don't even know, oh, am I uncomfortable, or am I feeling tired? Sometimes we don't even know the answers to the majority of questions of how we feel, and that is actually terrible. Like, why don't we know how we feel internally or externally or at that moment? It is important to know those questions about yourself first, because then you're better able to handle situations that you encounter throughout the day, better able to interact with people. So I honestly think being gentle with yourself, being kind with yourself, and checking in with yourself is the way to go in 2025. Way to go. Last thing I learned in 2024, number 24. If your present self is always looking back constantly and living with your past self and looking at your past self, then your future self is not going to walk into rooms, is not going to walk into the calling that God has on your life. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the past. Learn from the past. Look over the past. Use that in your present self to get you to your future. Okay? It's a cycle. Don't let it be just constantly living in the past, because then your future self is going to basically be your present self and your past self. You know, you want to grow as a person. You want to get into the rooms you're supposed to walk into. You want to meet the people you're supposed to meet. You want to be the person you're supposed to be. So let that happen. Learn from your past and your present. Let your present build and develop into the person you're supposed to be in the future. All right, that is just some of the things that I learned in 2024. It was an eventful year. I'm really excited for 2025. Comment down below which one you resonated with the most, and also some of the things that you've learned this past year. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! I just realized I haven't sipped my tea this whole time. I'm kind of sad. I should have taken a break. Anyways, love you, bye.